My Georgie's probably not going to be with us at the end of the day. She's been hanging on for days, but now she's not responsive and she's actually not eating or drinking. Since this morning, June here, my Easter egg head hen, who is 13, has been sitting with Georgie. Excuse Hector. He hears me talking and he has to crow. June has been sitting with Georgie all day. Poor Jill. Poor Georgie. Georgie's 12. June and Georgie have been together Georgie's entire life. June has been head hen in every group she's been in, and she's still the head hen, aren't you, June? Georgie's 12. Hector, shut up. June wanted to sit with her. June and Emily, who just recently got back in here with them. Emily and June have been surrounding her all day long. And I thought June was not feeling well, right, Junie? You were breathing so hard. I don't know. I think June is very stressed because they've been together. It's one thing for a hen to live 13 years, but it's another to have another hen to live almost as long as you have and have been your best friend for 12. I mean, how many times does that happen? But June is very upset. Aren't you upset, Junie? You're so upset, Junie. I know you are. You've been with her all day. You just now got up to walk around, my sweet girl. You're a good girl, June. Chickens are more complex, more dignified, more compassionate, just more than anybody really understands unless they have observed them for years like I have. I have seen selflessness, acts of utter selflessness with chickens in deference to their head hen. Georgie's been second in command in here. Georgie never wanted to be first. She never wanted to be the leader, but she was always ready to back up the leader. Georgie was never one to start a fight. She would definitely finish one. But my big old beautiful Delaware, my last Delaware hen, who's outlived her sister by 6 years, oh, more than that, 7 years, outlived her rooster, outlived her sister, outlived so many. She's seen so many hens come and go. Except for June, and June is still here. But I fear that June actually may grieve herself to death. I hope there's enough light in here. Sorry, I moved the camera too far away. Poor Georgie. You see how dark her comb is. There's a heat lamp right over here. You can see it's got a reptile bulb, and if you feel her back, she's nice and toasty. She's not cold. But yeah, she would sleep every single night beside June, and they would sleep right here on this thing. Let me back this up here now. Sleep every single night here, side by side, under this other reptile bulb. I give them a reptile bulb because they're very old. And Emily would sit right here, right behind them, and they're all three snuggled up together. Emily lost her group. First Panda died, and then Tiny the terrorist died. And so, Emily was by herself, and she was with June and Georgie in her younger years, and I put her in here, and then in a couple of days they'd worked it all out, and Emily now is being very sweet with Georgie. She was sitting beside her this morning. Georgie had walked off of her nest a little bit, and Emily was right beside her. You taking care of things, Emmy? Huh? Good girl. Emily's 11. So I may lose Georgie, and then right after that lose June. And then Emily's going to be by herself again. Poor Emily. I'm going to have to put somebody in with Emily. She can't have a rooster. She's too old, and she has a bad leg that kind of gives her trouble. It's a little stiff, and I don't want a rooster jumping her bones. You gonna sit with Georgie, Junebug? You're a good girl, June. You're a good salt-of-the-earth hen. They watch out for each other. I've watched birds preside over the death of one of their coop mates so many times. She's been with her all day. This is the first time I think I've seen her leave her side. Just to go walk around, stretch her own legs. But anyway, this is the end of an era. No more Delawares. I've had Delawares for, well, longer than I've had Georgie's group. I had a group before that, and I had a hatchery some hatchery chicks before that they were atrocious. So I've had Delawares for about 13 years, I think, or 14 years. That's the first time my flock hasn't had a Delaware in it. So, anyway, say goodbye to Miss Georgie, whose name is Georgie because her sire's name is George. Her sire's name was George. I'm sure he's not alive anymore. Yeah, you see what she's breathing. Well, y'all, that's the end of an era for me. And look at June. See, she's going to take care of her. She's going to sit right by her. She's not alone. Georgie's never alone. They don't let anybody die alone. That's amazing. It's just amazing. Anyway, I don't want to make y'all sad, but it's just something crazy that... And I can hear her wheezing a little bit, Georgie. She's just... 12 years is a long life for a hen. 13's even longer, right, Miss June? Yeah, Junie. What'd you get stuck in your throat, girl? Oh, she's wheezing. She's going to be gone in a minute. Well, I'll let you go. I don't think you need to see that if it happens right now. Thanks, everybody, for sticking around.